What's up, guys? It's Matt with Conservative Trades. Hope everybody's doing all right today. As you can see from my P&L, the struggle continues. I'm actually ending the day down $108.67. So now today is only Tuesday. Okay. Yesterday ended the day down a couple $100. Today, $100. I'm probably down, maybe, I don't know, 300 or 400 on the week after fees and commissions. It's been a struggle, guys. It really has been, and nothing devastating to my account. Obviously, I'm trying to stay optimistic here. I'm trying to keep in mind that this sort of thing can happen from time to time. You just go through slumps. Every trader goes through slumps, and we are still experiencing some very unpredictable market conditions. We've never traded in this kind of a market before, where the S&P 500 and the markets in general have fallen to such low levels, and where the fundamentals are so apparent on a day-to-day basis, especially just with everything going on with the economy and with the coronavirus and just all of this stuff. I mean, there really is a lot going on right now, and so I'm trying to be optimistic, but again, it's really just more annoying than anything else. We as day traders, we come here to make money. And when you spend 2 long, grueling days in the market and you don't really have much to show for it, yeah, even though you didn't blow your account, even though you're only down, a few $100 on the week, it's nothing bad. It's nothing that, I can come in here tomorrow and make 500, 600, $700, and I could do that the next 3 days in a row. So, it's not something that you can't come back from. But I've just had a lot of these days lately here in the last couple of weeks. It just seems to be a major struggle. It really does. And honestly, I can't get a good read on the market. We were talking about it in the live stream today. Just can't get a good read on the market. And, this market has almost kind of become like my Achilles heel. It's made me a little more hesitant when taking trades. There's great trades that I've missed out on that really could have just dug me right out of the hole today. Because you take trade after trade after trade, it doesn't go in your favor. And so then when it's finally time to take that trade and it looks like the setup's good for you, you don't trust it. We were talking about it in the live stream today. It's kind of like the boy that cried wolf. He cried wolf like so many times, and people came and saw that there was no wolf. And so when there finally was a wolf, he didn't. Nobody came. Nobody came because they didn't believe him. And it's kind of like that. I literally feel like that's how it's been with my trading, with a lot of my trades in general for the last couple of weeks. You see this perfect setup that 9 times out of 10 works for you, or at least 8 times out of 10 works for you. And it bites your face off every single time. So then when you see that perfect setup again, then you don't take it because you're just like, no, I'm not falling for it again. You keep chopping me out. Every time I take you, you chop me out. But then guess what? That's the one time where it actually works out in your favor. And it's a trade that if you had taken it, it would have completely dug you out of the hole and maybe even put you up a couple $100 on the day. So this is why I say, yeah, I'm not blowing my account here. Yes, these are small losses. We can come back from this. One day could come back from all of this. And we've got 3 more days left in the week to trade. But again, it's just more frustrating than anything else. And it really does strip your confidence, and I have to constantly remind myself that, these are just murky waters right now. And I've got to do my best to navigate through these waters right now and through this storm, so to speak, that we're going through. And so I don't know if there's other guys out there that are going through this too. I don't know if some of you guys that are listening to this or watching this right now, if you also have been going through this, I would be interested to know, and maybe just kind of let me know down in the comments some of the ways that you have been approaching the market, and if you've been struggling as well, and maybe some tips or things that you might be able to share here on the channel that might help all of us. Maybe some things that have helped you that might prove to be very beneficial for a lot of us to include in our trading strategies. I would love to hear from you guys on that. I really would. But I tell you what, tomorrow's another day. It's another day. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm going to try not to think too much about this stuff. And I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to trade my strategy and I'm going to give it another shot and we'll see what happens. So I will say this, guys, the markets are looking very interesting right now. This is the biggest pullback that we've had ever since this drop. This is the biggest pullback. This, you might think that this is, but this, we recovered from 294 to 309. So you're only talking about a 15-point recovery there. Here we opened up today at 222.98 and came all the way up to 244.20. So we've had more than a 22-point recovery so far. So guys, do I think the market's turning around? No, I don't. Do I think that that buyers are becoming a little more confident? Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot of investors out there that have enough money to where they could even look at these points as a place to dollar cost average in. Even if it does continue to fall to much lower lows, I think they would be comfortable buying in at these levels just in case this is the bottom. But I think what's going to happen eventually, and we may get a few days, of this running up, kind of like we did over here. This may get bought up a little bit, but I still feel like we're going to have to come back and test these levels and then see a turnaround for the sentiment to turn more bullish. I think we're going to have to see some kind of a retest of these lows right around here. And then, like I said, just a continued move up for this to maybe officially be the bottom. But it is interesting. It's very interesting. And at the same time, it's kind of what makes trading this market so difficult. And I don't know if some of you guys can relate, but there's a lot of trades out there that you can take where the setups may look really, really good, but if the SPY starts running in one direction or another, like if it starts getting bought up really hard or selling off a lot, these stocks, no matter what the setups look like on some of these other stocks, they'll automatically follow suit. I mean, it could be, a perfect ABC pattern setup, or it could be a perfect, flat top breakdown or flat top breakout or whatever. And if the SPY moves in any one direction, with a volatile enough movement, they'll just, all these other stocks, it won't even matter what the pattern was. It won't even matter what the pattern, what the setup is. A lot of times they'll just follow suit with the SPY. And then what's the even more confusing part, I'll say, is stocks that typically follow the SPY. And when the SPY is making big moves, you get in on those other stocks because they typically make big moves with the SPY. But for some reason, there are some stocks out there that will all of a sudden you'll see that there's a divergence that starts to be created between the two stocks, and then they won't be following the SPY. And it's just it really leaves you scratching your head sometimes. And I'm sure there are fundamentals at play when that's happening. I'm sure that there's a little bit more going on than just price action, just technical charting and price action. But I tell you what, guys, like I said, it's just made things very, very frustrating. I know for myself as a trader. And so anyway, I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to remain optimistic. I'm going to come in here tomorrow. I'm going to trade my strategy the same way that I always do. I might take it with a little bit more of a scalping mentality, as I talked about in yesterday's video. But like I said, we've got 3 more days of this week to trade, and the next 3 days, I could make $1,500, $2,000. So we'll see what happens, guys. But I hope you all have a good night. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, consider liking, subscribing, sharing this with other people. And also keep in mind that we do trade live here on the channel every day, Monday through Friday, beginning roughly around 9 a.m. So come join us. We'd love to have you guys. We are building a pretty neat, pretty solid, I'll say solid community of traders here. So anyway, you guys have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.